Hi, I'm Kurt Anderson, CEO of Fair Anderson Langerman, and we've partnered with Bill Granda and Paradigm Associates to speak with you about the issues involved in family businesses. And at this point, we thought we would go back to basics and talk about some of the fundamental issues that come to bear in dealing with family businesses in these troubled economic times. I think probably the most important thing is that in any business, but particularly in a family business, having a proper balance between long-term goals and strategies and short-term tactics is extremely important. I think that right now we all know that maintaining profitability is hugely important. I think that maintaining liquidity and financial capital is hugely important. Sometimes those concerns can lead people to making short-term decisions, though, to save dollars today that may be somewhat inconsistent with their goals for the business long-term. As an example, it's very easy to cut back on employee training or perhaps management training for family members that are coming up in the family business. It's easy to eliminate advertising and marketing that is important in maintaining the branding and niche position of the business during these economic times. So we really urge our clients to be thinking very carefully about the difference between cost cutting and eliminating fat versus cutting into the bone of the business. I think that there's quite frequently there are things that we can't afford to pay for, but there are also things that we can't afford not to pay for in maintaining a strong, vibrant family business. So we really urge our clients to look at the big picture in their financial planning for the business. As an example, if your margins are such that you're going to be operating at a loss, and you've determined that you want to do cost cutting, we urge clients to look at cost cutting from the standpoint of quantify big picture what those cost cuts need to look like. If it takes $250,000 in cost cuts to take the business to a break-even equilibrium, target $250,000, go in and look at your line items, look at all the big line items where you spend the most money. That's where you're going to find the bulk of your $250,000 to cost cut. If you go in and look at line item budget and you work through all the small items and you whittle away, you'll come up with savings, but more often than not, you're not going to get anywhere as near, in my example, the $250,000 that you need to save in order to really bring the business to a break-even equilibrium. Having a targeted dollar amount is what gets you to the desired result, rather than adding up everything that you found that you can save. Because in these days, it's very difficult. Everything looks important until you fundamentally put it up against the test of, I got to save a large amount of money, let's go find it. So those are the basics that we look at in running a family business right now and trying to balance out those long-term objectives and the short-term problems that we're all facing in the current economic times.